So what are we doing here today? It's Saturday morning. It's about 8:15. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I thought I'd shoot you guys an update video on what's going on with Mr. Newman. On Newman's Tale. I know you've been patiently waiting, and I appreciate all the private messages and all the comments on the videos. I've gotten dozens of people wanting to know how Mr. Newman's doing, and I really didn't know definitive answers till yesterday. We were waiting for certain tests to come back and have certain doctors look at certain radiology scans and whatnot. So Newman's story began in the spring of 2003. He was born to a trailer full of tweakers in Lake County, California. Tweaker is somebody who's just slammed out on methamphetamines and drugs and is not thinking straight, and that's where, unfortunately, Mr. Newman entered into this world with what appears to be 3 other dogs from his litter. They were subject to the next 12 to 14 weeks of straight abuse, malnourishment, physical abuse. In his case, somebody used a pair of garden shears and clipped off his tail. That's why he's got a nubby tail. His other littermates lost ears. They came through with scissors and they cut their ears, like trying to crop them like they're some kind of fighting dogs or something. He's a lab chow mix. There's no fight in this dog, believe me. So when they were done torturing their animals, they put them in a cardboard box, taped the box shut, and dumped them on the side of the road, where a passerby saw this box moving. And they stopped and were brave enough to open the box, cut the tape and open the box. And they found these 4 puppies, about 3 or 4 months old. Hard to tell how old they really were, but they were bleeding and pooped on and infected, malnourished, burn marks, just straight abuse, and which just burns me up. Oh, you fall off? Which just burns me up. But they brought him to the Humane Society there in Lake County, where they physically put him back together, and they worked on his mental health. And they got him healthy. It took him a couple months, but they got him healthy, and they put him in their inventory of dogs to be see you, buddy. Dogs to be adopted. And where you going, Newman? Is it too hot for you? Come here. And Newman, I guess, was a hard sell. He wasn't getting adopted. So after languishing in their jail cells for, I don't know, several weeks, a month and a half, which is common among humane societies, they do prisoner swaps. Take slow-moving inventory from one, slow-moving inventory for another, and just kind of mix things up a little bit. So he was did a prisoner swap with the Marin Humane Society on Belle Keys there. I just happened to be working in San Rafael, California that week, and I was in the market for a dog. We had put our last dog down in July 11th or 14th. It was July of 2003 we had put our last dog down. So we were 6 months without a dog, and it was time. So it was the last day of the work I was doing there in San Rafael, California, and every day when I'd drive home for 4 or 5 days that I was working out there, I'd pass by the Humane Society and I'd eyeball it and eyeball it. That last day I went in there Friday afternoon. He had just gotten there that morning, that Friday morning, and the rest is history. He came home. My kids just absolutely took right to him. He took right to us. I firmly believe in humane societies. As you know, my youngest daughter and I, we volunteer at our local humane society. I think they do good things. And I think Newman realized he got himself into a pretty good gig. He lives a quarter mile from the beach. We go to the beach all the time. He's a fantastic vehicle rider. He loves riding in cars. He never gotten sick a day in his life. He loves the ranch. The ponds up there, the creeks, the mud, the squirrels. He gets to go to the ranch 3, 4, 5 times a year. 4 or 5 times a year, probably. Probably it's more realistic. He gets to go to the beach whenever he wants. He gets 2 walks a day. He gets, I've already tried to shoot this twice. First time I wasn't using this wireless microphone thing, and the wind was kind of blowing and the audio. Turn around. Come here. Turn around. Okay, fine. Side shot. This is his best. So he gets 2 walks a day, every morning, for years. He comes out with me first thing in the morning. We play in the neighborhood, do a quick little walk before I leave for work, as I'm getting my truck ready and whatnot. We play every morning. And in the afternoon, when the girls get home from school or work or wherever they're coming from, the girls take him for a walk. So he's done pretty good. And when he was about a year old, he had some separation anxiety issues, and when he was in April of 2005, so we had him just over about a year and 4 months, I brought home a stray feral cat. It was this little kitten, actually, that was about 7 days old, eyes were closed, and a house I was doing a bathroom remodel in, they had this litter of feral cats in the backyard. Come on, and I brought the little calico home, Cosmo, get it? Cosmo, Newman, draw the connection. So he's had a companion here in the house. He and the cat get along like peas and carrots. They play together, they sleep together, which is kind of carnal, but what are you going to do? Just teasing. Anyway, he and the cat get along well, and they are each other's buddies when nobody's home. So he's been a really, really good dog. He's probably the best dog I've owned. I've owned about 4 dogs since I lived on my own, and not that I've really owned any bad dogs, but just the nature of this guy right here has been fantastic. And we got him in January of 2004, so we've had him almost 11 years. And this is his swan song. This is it for him. All the, you know, if you've been following this whole thing, he's lost about 16 pounds now in the last 4 to 6 weeks. And we finally determined that he's got a softball plus size tumor in his chest. Most likely malignant. The only way they're going to find out if it is malignant is to do a needle biopsy. But tumors in here is displacing, it's big enough to displace his organs. His lungs and his stomach are kind of twisted as they're making way for this rapidly growing tumor. The tumor has attached itself into his liver, causing his liver to produce some crazy enzymes. Enzymes of distress. So I had a long discussion with the veterinarian yesterday, and you know, we're probably just going to let this ride out. When it gets uncomfortable, we'll have to put him down. I don't know how long that's going to be. It could be a month, it could be 3 months. So we had no indication that he was sick until he really is sick. And I didn't want to make this video until I had the opportunity to talk to my kids about what's going on with him. I didn't need them hearing through the grapevine or watching some YouTube video that their dog's going to die. So we had dinner last night and discussed our options. We have 2 options. If we wanted to do surgery to remove this tumor, it'd be major surgery, because it appears the tumor's kind of, as I mentioned, kind of growing itself into his liver. And it could potentially even be attached to his stomach or attaching itself to his stomach. It's hard to tell. The stomach is all pushed aside. You can see it clearly in X-ray. Stay here for 3 more minutes, please. And if we were to go through this major surgery and subsequent chemotherapy, you're looking at about $6,000, and that's assuming we don't run into any complications for a 12-year-old dog. I don't know. That's assuming he survives the surgery, which is major. Okay, so yeah, so that's the update. Things are going to get worse. I got a spot picked out up at the ranch where he's going to go, and it's one of his favorite spots up there, man. You cannot pry him out of back into the truck when it's time to leave, and you can't open the door fast enough when we get up there. Yes, sir. My buddy. Had a good run, 11 years. You go through a lot of life in 11 years, good and bad, believe me. And he was there for both, the good and the bad. And he's ready. He's done. It's warm out here. So I'm going to cut this short. Listen, I really appreciate all the well wishes. I really, really do. And, you know, I'm going to feed him steak every night for dinner. Whatever he wants is what he gets. And the deal I made with him is the same deal I've made with past dogs that have gotten too old. As soon as he's really uncomfortable or he just can't get around on his own, then is when we make that call to the vet. He's done, like I said. It's a warm day today. He's going to go find himself a piece of shade. So I appreciate your well wishes. I really do. Talk to you guys soon. Gotta run. See ya.